My son locked me away, but my bread broke his chains. His betrayal burned me, but my recipe rebuilt my life. I'm Marion Cole, 65, in my Portland bakery, staring at my shattered phone, my lifeline, smashed by my son Lucas. "You'll waste away here," he'd hissed, shoving me into the storeroom, the lock snapping shut. At 65, after giving my life to him, I was trapped, abandoned for a luxury retreat with his wife, Tara. My heart raced, but my resolve hardened. If you cheer for women reclaiming their strength, hit like and subscribe. Share your city. What would you do in Marion's shoes? The bakery's warm glow lit my ledger, a half-eaten croissant on the counter. "Happy birthday, June" in smudged chalk. My apron, dusted with flour, bore the weight of a cancelled order. My hands, steady for kneading dough, trembled after Lucas's call to his friend. "Mom's bakery is a dead end. I need a real legacy." His text at midnight. "With Tara. I'm done." I replied, "Goodbye." His 24 missed calls followed. I sipped my chamomile tea, each sip fueling my plan. 3 weeks ago, I'd poured Lucas's coffee, dark roast, no cream, in his startup mug. He'd scrolled his phone, ignoring me. "Client drinks," he'd said, leaving his ring by the sink. 5th time that week. "It catches on papers," he'd claimed, showing the faint mark. I nodded, sidestepping the question. "Who drinks on a Wednesday?" My assistant, June, entered. "Marion, you okay?" "Been here 15 minutes. Her eyes, sharp from spotting overbaked loaves, lingered. "Just strategizing," I said, scrubbing flour from my hands under scalding water. The sting grounded me. A lost order hurt. So did Lucas's absence. At least my bread rose. I'd sensed it for months. Lucas stopped praising my pastries, ignored my late nights, kept lauding Tara. "Tara's pitches are flawless. Tara gets my vision." Her name, crisp as her marketing emails, grated. At his fundraiser, I'd worn the emerald dress he loved, but he'd texted all night, grinning at his phone. "Tara's thrilled about the deal," he'd said. I'd asked, "Who's texting?" He'd shrugged. "Work." Our texts faded, my baking expo plans, his one-word replies. A month ago, I'd sent a photo from our Astoria trip. "Miss us?" His reply, a thumbs-up emoji. Friends envied our sweet bond. My cousin called us a perfect batch. But perfection was me baking alone while Lucas worked late. I took extra orders to escape our quiet loft. June returned. "You sure?" I nodded, but her frown stayed. At the bakery, I moved with precision, frosting cakes, calming clients. At 11 p.m., a catering deal faltered. The client begged, "Fix it." Weary worked it in 20 minutes. It held. I held her hand, steady, while Lucas's silence pulsed. At 1 a.m., I sat alone, phone off. With Tara. "I'm done." The bakery's ovens hummed, a steady rhythm. My reflection, worn but fierce. I'd saved a deal. I could save myself. By dawn, I'd split our accounts and called a locksmith. Our loft, Lucas's stark design, felt empty. I packed his laptops, shirts, smartwatch he flaunted for Tara. Her favorite cologne went last. By noon, 11 boxes lined the door. The locksmith, Nate, grinned. "Son trouble?" "Wednesdays are wild." New locks snapped shut, final as a baked crust. My phone buzzed, 24 missed calls, 10 texts from Lucas. Mistake. "Tara's just a colleague."
"Mum, I'm sorry."
I ignored them, sipping Pinot I'd saved for us. At 2 p.m., the doorman buzzed. "Mr. Cole's key's dead." Lucas's voice cracked. "What's this?" I said, "Your stuff's packed. Take it." Boxes thudded through the intercom. At my bakery's community expo, I unveiled a $2 million grant for local food programs, named for Ms. Ellen, my mentor who saw my talent when Lucas didn't. My team cheered. June toasted. "To Marion, who needs her own path." Lucas's texts piled, unread. Tara emailed. It was nothing. "I'm off to Denver." I didn't reply. Her corporate spark was his illusion, not my burden. 6 months later, I stood at a baking festival, promoted to chain owner. June raised her glass to Marion, who rises without permission. Portland glowed below, my new kitchen alive with my bread, my herbs. Lucas crashed at his friends, chasing Tara's shadow. I deleted our photos, not in anger, but peace. My reflection in the exposed glass showed a woman who stopped waiting. Freedom was baking my own legacy, loaf by loaf, stronger than any vow.